Remy, welcome to Off Track. How are you, mate? Nice to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, no, good. Fresh off the GP bike.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. We all right to talk about Ollie? Is that okay? Do you want to make sure
Yamaha.
it's all in the Yamaha family? And first of all, mate, tell us how the season's gone so far. Second season on the Yamaha R1.
Yeah, no, it's a big step from last year. Feeling much more at home on the bike. Starting to get my head around the tires, and yeah, everything's clicking much better. So yeah, the results have been coming, and hopefully we can still improve from here.
What's been the biggest change this year to last?
I think just experience, knowing the bike, knowing the tires, understanding how Superbike works. Also with the format, just experience more than anything.
What's been the biggest change stepping from the GP paddock to coming into World Superbikes? What's been the biggest change for you?
I think the format, that's a big one. 3 races a weekend. That was something new for me, but I am really enjoying it. And obviously the bikes completely different. So just relearning the bikes and the way to go fast, and and the tires especially.
Has the tires been the biggest instance? Because I was talking to Sam Lowes earlier on, and Sam was saying riding a bike's kind of riding a bike, but he's done a similar transition where he's finding it is the tires that's been the hardest thing to kind of get his head around.
Yeah, it's a completely different concept of a tire, to what we know in the GP paddock. We're stiff, usually stiff carcasses, and something that's not moving around too much. With the Pirelli, it gives you a lot more feel, a lot more movement, but also that comes with a different riding style, and obviously to keep like a good, let's say, race pace and understand how to adapt over the laps is completely different way to ride. So it takes time. I mean, if you're not Pedro Costa, you need to learn how these things work and adapt.
How much more is it to come from you as well as the bike?
Right now?
Yeah.
I think, as a rider, you can always improve. So there's always, if I think you have the right attitude, there's always, things you can improve on as a rider and always get better. But and hopefully, with our package, we'll have some, upgrades and we'll get it better over the year, and hopefully next year even better.
From the Grand Prix paddock to World Superbikes, what have you enjoyed most about joining the World Superbike paddock?
Honestly, I really enjoy riding the bike. Like, the bike's really fun to ride. It's cool, and also the paddock's really chill as well. It's nice to have the fans inside the paddock as well, and I think it gives the fans a different perspective of racing, and they can be a lot closer to the heart of it, and that's always nice. So yeah, honestly, just enjoying the package, to be honest.
How much have you changed as a rider over last season to this season?
Yeah,
or paddock to paddock.
Yeah, I mean, not much. I think just adapted, my riding style a little bit to the tires more than anything. But yeah, still same old Remy.
In switching across, for our listeners and for our viewers, as you said, the bikes are completely different.
Yeah.
What's other than the tires, from a machine point of view, from going from a prototype to a production bike, how have you had to adapt your riding style to that?
Well, I mean, the bikes flex a lot more. I think that also is coming from the tire, but it's a completely different concept of how to go fast. Like I said before, the GP bikes are stiff. That goes along with a stiff carcass tire. It's you have to kind of finesse the bike, let's say, a bit more, on a Moto2 bike, Moto3, MotoGP, where here it's a bit more, let's say, savage. It's a bit more rodeo cowboy, which is always good fun. So yeah, there's a big difference, but I think with time, the guys can adapt, and if you're a fast rider on one thing, you can adapt, and with time you'll be a fast rider on another bike as well.
It wasn't the easiest of time to the last couple of years of the GP paddock after securing the Moto2 World Championship. Has coming to World Superbikes kind of reignited that flame a little bit for racing motorcycles fast?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I finished, 2022 in a pretty miserable way, to be honest, and I wasn't, didn't really, feel like riding motorbikes, to be honest, at the end of that year, and I wasn't, didn't have that same passion, I guess, that I had, you know, as before, and just the way things were going, and now I saw, you know, the racing was going, and but in the direction it was going in. But definitely coming here is, you know, open my eyes again, and I am really enjoying, you know, heading off to the races and riding my bike again. So I've actually been doing more riding than ever, been training more than ever, and yeah, I'm into it. I'm loving it. So
It's great to see that smile back. And then you put that into the podium at Assen.
yeah.
Tell me about that weekend, because that was kind of your arrival in the championship at that point. You've got your first podium, you got the monkey off your back in that
Yeah.
sense, and then you push forward from there. Tell us about that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, this year we've been pretty much strong all races. Had some bad luck in Phillip Island, the first one, but you know, throughout testing races, we've been up there. You know, we've been hanging around the top 5 pretty much every time. So it was inevitable that, you know, it was going to happen sooner or later. But it's always that question of when, and you know, are the cards going to align for you? And you know, it was a big weight definitely off my back just to get the first one. But now, you know, obviously looking for the second one. But yeah, it was a cool weekend. I mean, I was fast all weekend in Assen, and it was tricky conditions, and we managed really well as a team, and I managed well as well in the race, and yeah, finally managed to bring home a podium. So yeah, I guess we kept that ball rolling because, you know, we've had a front row start in Misano straight away. So unfortunately the races didn't go how we wanted, but yeah, I mean, yeah, hopefully it's a good sign of things to come.
Do you find that there's expectation moving from the Grand Prix paddock to the World Superbike paddock, coming in as a former Moto2 world champion, that you're going to be up there straight away, but people kind of underestimate the level of World Superbike?
Yeah, for sure. Even myself, I expected to be, you know, fighting for podiums at least a few times last year, and I mean, in the end, we kind of were, but definitely a bit more than I expected. So the level is extremely high. You know, there's lots of good riders, lots of good manufacturers, and yeah, they understand. Also, guys that have a lot of experience with these bikes. So yeah, it was definitely harder than I expected, but you know, I'm okay to admit that. But yeah, after lots of hard work and understanding, and I think it's finally coming together.
Was from the mental perspective of that, of carrying the weight into World Superbike after a difficult year, was that something you had to work on as a for the mental challenge of it again to give you the impetus to perform at the highest level in this paddock?
I mean, there's always pressure, isn't there? There's always mental pressure, but yeah, it's kind of, it was kind of like I had to, you know, show that okay, I can still ride a motorbike fast, you know, to, you know, try and obviously secure my future. So, but so that was a point of, you know, a bit of pressure, and but you know, I think it was the key was keeping calm and working through it, and you know, that's all you got to do is just keep a calm head, work through the problems, understand what's going on, and improve from there, which I think I've managed okay. So hopefully we can keep doing that.
We've gone all right. So it's momentum as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
A happy rider with momentum.
Yeah.
If you can keep those two on the rails,
Yeah.
then the success comes with it.
No, exactly. It's about enjoying it, enjoying what you're doing, you know, feeling good with the bike, with the team, you know, and after that, things usually come by themselves. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Here at Donington Park this weekend, how much are you looking forward to racing back here again?
Yeah, I had a little bit of a tough race last year here, but I did really enjoy the track. Cool old school track. So yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. You know, riding it again with a different head on this year, that's for sure. And hopefully, you know, hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll be better result than last year. But so yeah, looking forward to it, and yeah, looking forward to, you know, slipping back into the old slippers after the GP bike. So yeah, can't wait.
It's been a kind of a staggered start to the season, has it? You've had rounds and then you've had 3 weeks off and a couple of weeks off. How do you keep the momentum going in that time? Because then we're now back to back, and then you've got a real intense second half of the season. How do you keep motivated between rounds?
Yeah, it's all coming up now, so it's all going to be coming pretty fast. But yeah, the first half of the season was a bit of a weird calendar, but yeah, I kept myself busy. I mean, I was doing hard enduro races and yeah, riding a bit of MX and lots of trials and lots of enduro, hard enduro, and working on cars. So I'm always busy and always riding. So Yeah, it's not a problem for me to keep the momentum going.
Tell me about the enduro side. We went earlier this year to there's a big enduro event not far from where we live. That stuff's way beyond me. I kind of understand the track riding, but the enduro is another level. Tell me about that.
Yeah, like I started doing it for fitness. I actually hated enduro before when I was a kid. I was always an MX guy, full gas, flat out, doing jumps, and then I hurt myself, and I hurt myself a few times riding motocross. And after that, I was like, I think it's probably not the smartest idea to keep doing this. So then one of my mates said, I tried enduro, who also raced road racing. He said it's insanely difficult, how difficult it is physically. And I was like, it's for old guys. Don't do that. Anyway, he finally convinced me. I got an enduro bike. This was when I was in MotoGP, and honestly, I've never taken myself to complete exhaustion like I have on a hard enduro bike. So I started doing that, getting better, and I think it's my second year or second half year doing hard enduro, which I've done a bit of trials before that, so that helped. But I went and did a race in Portugal after Assen called Lagares XL. It's called. It was a week after Assen, and mate, 6 hours on Sunday. 6 hour race on Sunday. We didn't even finish. We didn't even finish a lap.
You didn't make it.
No. Only 3 of them finished out of 80.
Okay, so that explains the kind of the level that it's at as well.
It was Mario Roman who won, and the other 2 were also pros, and they finished in like 5 hours 50. And there was only 17 people who finished 1 lap, and unfortunately halfway around my lap, my chain came off and got stuck between the pinion and the swing arm. So we had to pull out my swing arm in the middle of a river basically, and put all bikes back together. We lost an hour. So, but that day was like, I've never been so exhausted physically in my life. And we'd already done Friday and Saturday. So Friday there was a 45-minute race plus a 2-race prologue around the town at night. Then Saturday was a 2-hour race, and Sunday was 6. So insane. But I love it. And now actually I've got Pedro coming and doing with me a bit of enduro now as well. So he likes it for the training as well.
It's got to be, I think physically it's better than motocross, because you're so active. There's so much going on, and the concentration levels for enduro, correct me if I'm wrong, but with motocross, you can just kind of lapse into it. It's like you say, it's jump, land.
Yeah, you can kind of roll off a bit. You can slow down the pace, and you can kind of you can keep going. And in enduro, you could be stuck on the side of a mountain with a bike like that, and you got no option to pick up the bike and get out of there. So it's hard work. It's hard work, but I love it. I like the suffering. It's good fun.
Why am I not surprised? The suffering side of it. It's something that you put yourself through. What's the most difficult situation you found yourself in?
I've had a few like big explosions in training in summer. But honestly, that Lagares race was something else, man. It was something else. I'd taken, I think I had 2.5 liters of water in my Camelback, a banana, a protein bar, 2 energy gels, electrolyte gummies. What else did I have? And something else. Anyway, I'd eaten and drank everything by the 4th hour. I was out, like done. And I'm like, I usually never take anything when I train. Nothing. And I was done, mate, done. At 4th hour, I was done. Just crashes and picking up the bike and pushing it through rivers. And on top of that, we're still through rivers and water, and the bike drank water twice. So I was there, surprised I actually got it started again. Just insane, mate, insane. But I've had a few big explosions as well, training in the summer in Spain, like when it's like 35 degrees, and we're like on the 3rd or 4th hour or something, and I had some big ones, like pulling the helmet off, like looking for shade, like hyperventilating. But it's good. It's good. Makes this feel easy.
But that's the whole point, isn't it?
No, exactly. That's
train hard, race easy.
Yeah, exactly. Are
you going to look at maybe doing Erzberg or something like that?
I'd love it. Yeah, I'd love to. The Erzberg looks easy, to be honest. I mean, I'd love to do Romaniacs.
Oh, Romaniacs is the next step up.
Yeah, I mean, Erzberg is in the end, it's only 4 hour. You're even going to get 4 hours to do it, and the thing is to get like a lot of what do you call it? It's got the word in Spanish. Can't think of it in English. You get lots of lines.
Okay.
Like waiting to go up the hills and stuff.
Like a queue of
A
traffic.
queue, there you go. You get queue of traffic before trying to go up the hills and stuff. In Romania, it's a bit better. And Romania, I think you get like 8 hours a day or something.
Okay, it's a bit more time.
Yeah. So you get time to do it, but you know, I spoke to the guys that done it, and it's hardcore as well. So, but I'd love to do it. The problem is, this year it's between Portugal and Most.
Okay.
So it's that week between Most.
No, Most is next week, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's after Most.
Yeah.
But and the week before Portugal, I think. So and
one for the diary, Ollie.
yeah, it's a bit risky, and it took me like a week and a half to like recover from the Portuguese one. So imagine Romaniacs.
The great thing I love about talking to racers is you can talk about the training, you can talk about what happened last race, you talk about what happens in the next race. It's kind of standard stuff. But when you get talking about things that you like, the whole body shape changes and everything goes, yeah, this is what I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
And you see where the enduro side comes in, and sort of the cars as well that you do in your spare time. That kind of takes up a lot of time as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, too much to be honest. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I got not enough time for everything, unfortunately. But yeah, I love it. Love building engines. I blew up an engine the other day in my drift car, so I've just going out and bought new pistons and got to get the block machine and everything. So anyway, should be good in a few months.
So enduro racing, drift cars,
hot rods, big engines,
superbike racing,
Superbike
V8s.
racing. Now last week in MotoGP,
and then we have the MotoGP story.
Yeah.
Tell me a story about that. From where did it start? Where did the call come? Because you also had Jerez on the calendar as well.
Yeah.
Which you kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I mean, I was super excited about that event. You know, get to go and ride 500s, which is, you know, all racers' dreams, isn't it? So, yeah, I was really looking forward to it. And Clara, my girlfriend, was going to come with me, and we basically had to organize that she was going to come for a hot lap with me on the back. So I was really looking forward to that. But yeah, I got the call on Sunday afternoon that if I wanted to ride the GP bike the next weekend, so couldn't say no. So yeah, I was actually out riding motocross. I was riding motocross that day, which I said I don't ride motocross. I was riding motocross with Tito, and we just went for lunch and we watched the race together. I didn't even think about it when I saw the crash. Got the call on Sunday afternoon, said, "Do you want to do it?" I said, "Yeah, I'd say no." So yeah, it was all a bit of a rush to get leathers and everything, but yeah, thank God, you know, my sponsors pulled through, and yeah, had a really good experience.
Was it a bit of a whirlwind from start to finish? Did you get the chance to actually to enjoy the moment and go, I'm back for a weekend?
Honestly, I did actually, yeah, because you know, I got lots of friends and people that I've known over years there, and it was nice. You know, it was nothing. It was, you know, there was no expectations, was there? You know, what are you going to do after, you know, 2 practice sessions on a GP bike and go to a race when these guys are on it every weekend? So yeah, there was no expectations, and honestly, I got on pretty fast with it. You know, the gap was actually really close, and honestly better than expected. So Yamaha was super happy with me. Feedback as well was good, and honestly, I just enjoyed myself. Enjoyed myself a lot. Enjoyed riding with Pedro on track, and yeah, had my mate Carmelo there as well, having a good time with us. So can't complain.
Was it something that was for you as a racer with the experience that you've got? Was it something easy for you to evaluate as you're lapping Sachsenring to be able to give feedback to Yamaha?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think I give back decent feedback in general as well. And yeah, I was just, you know, I told them what I felt with the bike in general and the problems we were having over the weekend. And yeah, we seemed to fix a few of them, but obviously it's not enough time to, you know, fix all of them, unfortunately. But yeah, it was good. I mean, they were super happy, and they said, you know, what I'm saying is, you know, it's they can see in the data, which is good. And yeah, I was just really happy. So yeah, it's always nice to ride a GP bike. They're really fast and got all the devices and limps and bibs and bobs and electronics, but it's good fun.
What was the favourite part about it for the whole weekend?
I know, to be honest. Favourite part, finishing in front of Pedro. Right.
Yeah, that's a big tick in the box, isn't
Still
it?
beat
Why
you.
not?
It's 1-1 now. You beat me on Sunday, I beat him on Saturday. If I never go back, then it'll stay like that forever.
Then it's exactly right. That's the way it is. I always find we're talking to Frankie Carchedi earlier this year, and he explained how intense MotoGP is.
Yeah.
Because you have FP1 to get the bike somewhere in the window. FP2 then dictates qualifying.
Yeah.
So there isn't time to sit back and kind of smell the roses. You have to be straight in, straight on that pace to the limit that you can find in FP1.
Yeah.
And that's the base to work from.
Yeah, like I didn't know that. I never rode that format, so it was new for me that. And yeah, I mean, P1 is it called now, which is the practice session in the afternoon. You know, the guys are throwing 3 tires at it. 3. I was like, yeah, right, okay. Fine. I only threw 2 at it because I just wanted to lap and, you know, get laps under myself. And at the end, I threw 2 tires at it. But yeah, it's crazy. And then you got FP3, and FP3 finishes, and you're out 5 minutes later to do qualifying. So, yeah, it's pretty insane. But it's all right. I mean, it's kind of similar to here, to be honest. You know, in the end, we've got 3 sessions a day here on Saturday and Sunday. So, yeah, it didn't frighten me too much.
That's the most important thing, that you can get back on it and feel comfortable with it, despite the differences between your R1 here and the M1 that you're riding over there.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it all came pretty fast and naturally, to be honest. Obviously, I was a bit nervous before FP1, but everything went well, and that was it. Just put my head down and focused.
I think you would be remiss if you weren't nervous. The same with anything, isn't it? If you need those little bit of nerves first.
I just didn't know what to expect. That's all. You know, I didn't know what to expect, and you know, is it going to be crazy power like I remembered? And obviously, it was okay. It was fine. Just felt like riding in MotoGP again. I was.
It's exactly what it was. That's something that I'll never feel, and a lot of the races I speak to will never feel. The difference between jumping between the two and the outright power of a MotoGP bike, and just recalibrating in to that. And you know, there's the circuit that is Sachsenring that is most of the time on the side of the tire.
Yeah, yeah. It was not too like I expected to take longer to get used to everything. It hasn't been that long. It's only been 2 years. That long. So
it's kind of like riding a bike.
No, exactly. It took me a few laps, but after that was all okay. It was more just understanding what the Yamaha wanted and needed. And that was the biggest thing, you know, to learn. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't take me long to remember how I rode that fast. So only a few laps, hopefully.
It'll not take you long. It's like you say, it's putting the slippers back on.
No, exactly.
That's what it is. Tell me about the remainder of the season. When you get to the final round and you look back over the season, what's going to give you the most satisfaction
this year? I don't know. Yeah, we're not there yet, are we? You know, there might be some brilliant races to come.
This is the whole point. This is one. When you look back to I asked this question last season to a couple of the boys when because it was going to finish in Argentina, but it didn't. But to go home at the end of the year satisfied with the season, what would you need to achieve?
Top 5 in the championship.
Yeah. And I think it's achievable, especially in not the top Yamaha team, where you have the top boys, of Jonathan and Locker.
Yeah, and we're close in points. So
exactly.
Close in points, and in the end, just got to keep chipping away and take advantage of the races. We're strong, and that's it. But yeah, I mean, the goal was to be, top 5, top 6 in the championship this year, and at the moment we're hanging in there. Just a bit of bad luck in Phillip Island, unfortunately. It cost us a bunch of points, but we could have had some pretty good point scoring. Anyway, still got lots to go.
Have you got tracks in mind where you think that you could have a thought, well, we might be on the box for this one, or we could have a chance of standing on the top step for this because you have an affinity to the circuit, one that suits your style?
Yeah, maybe, hopefully we can have a good weekend here. Most can be a good one. Where do we go after that? Portimao? Portimao could be a good one. Depends on the heat. Depends on how we deal with the tyre situation in the heat. Where else? What's after that? Mangi-Cours?
Mangi-Cours, Cremona, Aragon.
Mangi-Cours could be a tougher one for us. Cremona could be decent. Aragon's going to be tough as usual.
You do the test at Cremona?
Yeah, not the second one. We did the first.
But you've turned laps there.
Yeah, we did one day.
What do you think to it?
It's not great. I was fast.
So that's all that matters at the end of the day, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's for every first-time guest we have on the show, we have 2 questions to finish off. First question's in 2 parts. Of all the tracks you've ridden, what's your favourite corner and why?
I'm gonna say turn 3 Phillip Island because it's just ballsy.
We've had a few over the years that they pick that. If everybody's ridden Phillip Island, turn 3 there.
Turn 3, yeah. Turn 3 Phillip Island. Just you need to be just praying to God that the tires stick when you're on the qualifying line. Let's put it that way.
It's just like for because our listeners, myself included, and the viewers, we will never experience that. Can you just talk us through how you go through turn 3 of Phillip Island and the feelings that you have?
Yeah, I mean, just depends on the lap that it is and everything, But if you're on a quali, go push in there. Yeah, it's kind of just take a big deep breath before doing it, and force yourself to hold the gas open and get the thing lit sideways and try and help turn the bike with the gas, and just hold on for dear life and hopefully everything sticks. Yeah, pretty much that's about it.
Was it 5th gear wide open?
It's 5th gear, not wide open, but pretty much nearly there. Yeah, like it's flat out. As soon as you come down the little dip, you roll out to about 70%, 75 on a quali lap, and then you just cut back to 100. Yeah. But in the race, it's different. In the race, it's much more of a shutdown.
Sure.
Yeah. But on the qualifying diets,
that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. It's good. When it goes well, it's good. When it goes bad, it's not good.
It's not the place for
I haven't crashed there yet.
No, that's not the place for it to go bad.
Good, yeah.
Nowhere near. And the final question, what's your best hire car story?
My height, I got a good one actually. It's not very responsible. So
this is why we asked the question. It's fine. Nobody's judging you.
Yeah. So it's nothing bad, nothing horrible, but not great, is it? But basically, I'd done Momelo race. We did Monday, Tuesday testing. After Momelo, Wednesday, KTM wanted me to go do a fitness test. I was destroyed. They wanted a fitness test. Went and do a fitness test. Thursday morning, I took a flight early to Milan, got a rental car, drove from Milan to the Dolomites because it was the only place we could fly to for a wedding. Wedding Friday night, wedding Saturday night, parties. Woke up at like 7 o'clock on Sunday morning. Like I was just done at this point. Had to drive, where'd I go? I was with my girlfriend, and I was with also another mate and his girlfriend. Yeah, Cinquecento, Fiat Cinquecento. Drove him, dropped him in. Where's Romeo and Juliet from? Verona. Dropped him in Verona. Had some lunch in Verona. And I think I had a beer as well in Verona. So the lunch and the beer at midday with the sun in my eyes. I was driving back to Milan, and I was doing 145 or something in the Cinquecento and talking to Clara with sun in my eyes, straight road, fell asleep.
No.
We smashed into the arm rail on the side. I woke up. Car was going sideways in the Cinquecento. Managed to save it. Fuck, right. Pull over. Clara's crying and screaming, and I was like, all right, we're okay. Car's all right. It's a bit scratched, but we'll be all right. We've got insurance. All right. You drive, Clara. I'm going to sleep. She's bawling her eyes out. Oh, we could have died. And I'm like, oh, did you die? We're still alive. So there's no point in crying. It's done.
We're still here.
We're still here, and we're fine. We've got insurance. You drive. I'm going to sleep. I fell straight to sleep. Yeah. Woke up in Milan.
What a great way to finish off. Remy, it's been a busy day for you. Thank you for sparing us the time. Holly, thank you for organising this, mate. Much appreciated. Wish you all the best for the rest of the weekend and for the rest of the season. Awesome. Maybe one day we could do this again.
Yeah, hopefully.
Brilliant. Cheers, mate. Thank you, mate.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Remy Gardner.